Have you ever poured your heart out to your family, only to feel a quiet ache afterward, a pang you couldn't quite name? As we age, there's this deep, almost sacred pull to lay everything bare, to share every thought, every worry, every fragile piece of ourselves with the ones we love. We tell ourselves it's right, that honesty stitches us closer, that vulnerability is the thread that binds. But what if, sometimes, that thread frays instead? What if sharing too much doesn't heal but hollows, leaving you exposed, your peace shaken, your relationships trembling under weights they weren't meant to carry? After 65, life whispers a gentler truth. Not every story needs telling. Some, cradled close, become a sanctuary, for them, for you, for the tender balance of a lifetime's love. This isn't about hiding or pulling away. It's about choosing with care, with grace. It's about honoring the years you've walked and the quiet strength you've earned. In this journey, we're diving into 5 things you might want to keep to yourself after 65. Not to shut people out, but to cradle your independence, sidestep the storms of tension, and carve a space that's yours alone, a haven of calm amid life's noise. These aren't cold rules, they're warm lessons, glowing with the wisdom of time, offering you a gift, the freedom to live fully without the burden of oversharing. Stay with me to the end, because understanding these could shift how you walk through your days, lifting you into a peace you didn't know you could claim, a peace that feels like coming home. Let's step into this together, because your heart, your story, your stillness, they're worth guarding. Number 1. The full map of your money. Money's a loaded word at any age, but after 65, it's a minefield, a landscape of dreams and duties, woven with the sweat of decades. You might think opening up about your savings, your investments, your rainy day fund will keep things clear with your family. No secrets, no surprises, just trust laid bare. But here's the raw, beautiful truth. The more they know, the more they feel entitled to step in, to shape what's yours. What begins as a heartfelt talk can spiral into a chorus of voices, opinions, expectations, even quiet resentment, until your choices feel like they belong to everyone but you. And once that door swings wide, it's a wind you can't call back. Take Evelyn, 69, from a leafy suburb in Ohio. After her husband passed, she sat her kids down under the soft glow of her kitchen light, wanting them to feel secure in her love. She told them about her savings, the house she'd paid off with years of careful planning, the little nest egg she'd tucked away for emergencies, a legacy of resilience she was proud of. She thought it'd weave them tighter, a family bound by transparency. Instead, her son's eyes sharpened, hinting she should sell the house. "It's too big for you now, Mom. Think of the upkeep," while her daughter pressed, "Why not set up trusts for the grandkids now?" A cousin she hadn't seen in years called, voice syrupy, asking for a loan to tide him over. Evelyn's heart sank. She'd wanted unity, she got a tug of war. Her sanctuary, her hard-won stability, felt like a prize others were carving up. That's the tender ache of it. Money shifts how people see you, how they hold you in their hearts. Share too much, and suddenly you're not just mom or grandma. You're a resource, a puzzle to solve, a ledger to balance. They might mean well, offering advice about downsizing or investments, their voices laced with care, but it can feel like they're managing you, like your life's work is up for debate. Worse, some might judge, why'd she buy that coat? Is she saving enough for us? Their questions chipping at your dignity. And then there's the flip side, the ones who drift closer, drawn by dollar signs, not love. Your financial world is yours to steer, a tapestry of choices that reflect your journey, your joys, your quiet victories. Keeping it private isn't secrecy, it's sovereignty, a shield for your peace, a way to savor your days without the weight of watchful eyes. The benefit? You stay the author of your story. You decide what to spend on a whim, a trip to the coast, a gift for yourself, without justifying it. You protect your family too, sparing them the temptation to meddle or the guilt of expectation. Evelyn learned this, drawing a line after that kitchen talk. She shared her will, her big picture plans, but the rest? That stayed hers, a gift to herself, a breath of freedom. Because peace isn't just having money, it's holding it close, letting it sing your song, not theirs. Number 2. The small shadows of your health. Aging brings creaks and twinges, knees that groan like old floorboards, nights that stretch too long under a restless moon. It's natural to want to tell your family, to let them in on the little battles, the daily dance with your body. They love you, they'll care, they'll wrap you in their concern like a warm quilt. But here's what unfolds, soft and sharp. Every ache you mention becomes a spotlight, a flare in their sky. A stiff back turns into, "You need a specialist, let me call someone." A tired day sparks, "Are you eating right? I'll bring you vitamins." Before you know it, they're not just worried, they're hovering, deciding for you, seeing you as frilier than you feel, their love tipping into a cage you didn't ask for. Picture George, 67, from a quiet corner of Arizona, where the desert sun paints the hills gold. He'd always been active, hiking trails with dust on his boots, tinkering in his garage until dusk. One day, over coffee in his sunlit kitchen, he told his daughter about a nagging shoulder pain, just a passing grumble after lifting a toolbox. He thought she'd nod, maybe tease him about getting old. Instead, her face tightened. Next thing he knew, she'd booked him a doctor's appointment, researched supplements online, and started calling daily to check in, her voice a mix of worry and command. George felt her love, but it grated on him, a sandpaper edge to her care. He wasn't falling apart. He was just sore, still the man who'd carried her on his shoulders as a girl. Soon, she stopped asking him to babysit the grandkids, assuming he couldn't handle their wild energy. That one comment had rewritten how she saw him. Strong George became fragile George, and he couldn't unring that bell. Health matters, and big changes deserve a conversation. Cancer, surgery, something that shifts your horizon and calls for their hands to hold you up. But the small stuff, the shadows that flicker and fade, keep them close. Sharing every twinge invites fussing, and worse, it plants a seed. He's not who he was. You're still you, strong, capable, alive, a soul who's weathered storms and still stands tall. Guard that truth, not just for them, but for you, because there's power in being seen as whole, not half. Silence here isn't a lie. It's a shield for your autonomy, your identity, a way to keep dancing your dance without their steps crowding yours. The gift is twofold. You hold your dignity, that fierce spark of self that's carried you this far, and you spare them the weight of worry that doesn't serve. George started brushing off the small complaints, smiling instead about the cactus blooming outside. His daughter relaxed, and he felt lighter, still her rock, not her burden. Your health is your story. Let them read the chapters of strength, not the footnotes of strain. Number 3. The raw edges of family fights. Families are messy. Siblings bicker over old slights, kids hold grudges like heirlooms, cousins clash in echoes of childhood spats. After 65, you've seen it all, the same arguments circling back like seasons, the same hurts flaring up in familiar hues. You might feel the urge to step in, to say what you really think, to call out who's wrong and why, your voice a beacon of clarity after decades of watching. But here's the tender, hard-won truth. Your honesty rarely fixes it. More often, it lights a match, turning you into the target, the meddler, the one they remember with a wince when the dust settles, your words a scar on their fragile peace. Think of Marie, 70, from a bustling street in Texas, where the air hums with heat and history. Her son and daughter hadn't spoken in months over a loan gone sour, a bitter rift that tugged at her heart. One night, over a glass of sweet tea on her porch, Marie told her daughter, "He's always been stubborn, you're right to stand your ground." She thought it'd help, a mother's wisdom to ease the sting. Instead, her son caught wind through a cousin's loose lips, and suddenly Marie was the villain, accused of picking sides, her love twisted into betrayal. "I thought you'd be fair, Mom," he said, voice low and hurt. Even after they patched things up, he stayed cool with her, the echo of her words a wall between them. Marie learned the hard way. Her truth didn't heal, it hurt. She'd wanted to mend, she'd broken more. Family conflicts are a dance you don't have to join, a whirlwind you can watch from the sidelines with a heavy, knowing heart. You see the patterns, decades of them, etched in laughter and tears, but speaking up risks your place in the circle, your role as the steady shore they return to. Keep your thoughts close, a quiet treasure of insight. A gentle, "I hope you work it out," or "You'll figure it out," keeps you steady, not stuck in the fray, your love a lighthouse, not a lightning rod. It's not cowardice, it's grace, a gift to them and a balm for you. Because peace isn't just for their healing, it's for your soul, a stillness that lets you breathe above the chaos. The beauty here, you stay the anchor, unshaken, unshackled, preserving the trust they lean on. Marie started listening more, speaking less, and found her kids came to her again, not for judgment, but for comfort. Your silence holds power, letting them wrestle their storms while you stand as their safe harbor, a legacy of love that doesn't bend under their battles. Number 4. The ghosts of regret. The years pile up, and so do the what-ifs, roads not taken, chances missed, Moments you'd rewrite if you could with a kinder hand. After 65, reflection creeps in like dusk, soft and inevitable, and it's tempting to share those regrets with family, to let them see the human behind the hero they've known, the one who stumbled, who dreamed, who sometimes fell short. But here's the piercing, poignant risk. What you see as a wistful memory, a thread of your tapestry, they hear as a wound, and sometimes they carry it for you, or worse, against you, their love tangled in a sorrow you never meant to give. Imagine Clara, 68, from a rainy town in Oregon, where the mist clings to the pines like a memory. One evening, over a dinner of warm soup and crackling firelight, she told her son she wished she'd traveled more when she was younger, seen the world beyond the horizon instead of settling down so fast. She meant it as a musing, a soft sigh from a life well lived but wondered about. But her son's face fell, shadows pooling in his eyes. "Were we a mistake?" he asked later, voice tight with a hurt she hadn't foreseen. Clara was stunned. Her words had landed like a judgment, a hint that her life with him, her anchor, wasn't enough. Another time, she mentioned a lost love from her 20s, just a passing story of a boy who'd danced with her under a summer sky. Her daughter-in-law bristled, a flicker of doubt in her gaze. Did Clara still pine for someone else, a ghost who outshone their family? Her regrets didn't free her, they burdened them, casting ripples she couldn't calm. Regrets are yours to wrestle, to learn from, to let go, a private pilgrimage through the chapters of your soul. Sharing them can twist love into guilt, strength into sorrow, planting seeds of doubt where trust once bloomed. Your family sees you as their rock, their North Star. Don't let old shadows dim that light. Don't let them wonder if they were less than your dream. Keep them private, not out of shame, but out of care, a tender act of protection for their hearts and yours. The past is done, a river flowed. Your present with them is the shore you've built, solid and shining. Hold those ghosts close, and let your voice carry only the now, the laughter, the warmth, the unshakable bond. The reward is radiant. You keep their faith in you intact, their memories of you golden, not grayed by what-ifs. Clara stopped peeling back those layers, instead sharing stories of their picnics, their triumphs. Her son smiled again, unburdened. Your regrets don't define you, your love does. Let that be the song they hear. Number 5. The weight of your struggles. Life after 65 isn't always smooth. Bills pile up like autumn leaves, loneliness creeps in like a fog, worries gnaw at the edges of your quiet hours. You might want to lean on your family, to tell them when money's tight or the days feel heavy, to let their love lighten the load. They're your people, they'll understand, they'll wrap you in their arms and their strength. But here's the bittersweet flip side. The more you reveal, the more they shift, from loved ones to caretakers, from equals to overseers, their care bending into control. And once they know, they can't unknow, their view of you tilts, and your freedom slips through the cracks. Consider Henry, 72, from a farmstead in Kansas, where the fields stretch wide and the sky holds stories. After a rough year, medical costs stacking high, a leaky roof drumming his savings, he confided in his daughter over a porch sunset, admitting his thinning funds. He just needed to vent, to let the words spill like rain. But she didn't let it go. She started dropping by with groceries he didn't ask for, her eyes soft but firm, suggesting he move in with her. It'd be easier, Dad. Even questioning his spending on a new tractor part. Henry felt small, like a problem to fix, his pride a shadow under her care. Another time, he admitted the farm felt lonely without his wife, her absence an ache in the silence. His son took it as a cue, pushing for a retirement home. You shouldn't be alone out there. Henry's honesty had cost him his independence, his voice drowned by their solutions. Struggles are real, and some need sharing. Crises, grief, moments too big to bear alone, when their hands are your lifeline. But the everyday weight, the bills that pinch, the nights that echo? Keep it yours, a burden you've carried and conquered before. Tell a friend, a pastor, a journal. Just not the ones who'll rewrite your story to fit their fears, who'll see you as a weight to lift instead of a soul to cherish. Privacy here isn't pride, it's power, a quiet rebellion against being diminished. You're still the captain of your ship, the farmer who tamed the land, the heart who holds them all. Don't hand over the wheel. The blessing is profound. You stay whole in their eyes, a pillar not a plea, and you shield them from a worry that doesn't heal. Henry learned to nod and smile, keeping his struggles in his chest, sharing instead the hawk he'd seen soaring. His daughter laughed, and he stood taller, still her father, not her charge. Your struggles are your strength. Let them see the victor, not the fight. Pause here. Let these 5 truths sink in: money, health, conflicts, regrets, struggles. This isn't about building walls, it's about tending your garden, keeping the roots strong, the blooms vibrant for you and them. Sharing's a gift, a bridge of trust, but so is silence, a sanctuary of discernment, a choice that cradles your peace. Think back, a time you overshared and felt the shift, the air thickened with unintended weight, or held your tongue and found calm, a stillness that settled like dawn. Aging hands you this clarity: what matters, what lasts, what lights your days without dimming theirs. Your peace, your freedom, your bonds, they thrive when you choose wisely, when you weave love with wisdom. What's one piece you're taking from this, a whisper that struck your heart? Drop it in the comments. I'm listening, eager to hear your voice, to feel your story echo back. If this stirred something in you, hit that like button. It's a nod that says, I felt this, I needed this. Subscribe and ring the bell so we can keep walking this path together. There's more wisdom to share, more moments to hold. Pass this along to someone, a sibling, a friend, a soul who might need its quiet strength, because these truths deserve to ripple out, to touch every heart ready to hear. Your support fuels these moments, keeps them growing, keeps us woven in this tender tapestry of understanding. Because at this stage, you've earned a life that's yours, quietly, beautifully, fully yours, a legacy of love and stillness that shines through the years.